something, something on.
What song is that?
I don't know. It's on some movie or
Great start.
I don't know.
I don't know. Now we're just singing songs like a drunk sailor at sea, lost on a boat to nowhere.
There's supposed to be a morning at the dawn. Someone will come at us about it. Yo, this is reality gaze. This is Below Deck.
Below Deck Med. Below Deck Mediterranean. Y'all, but this episode's called The Morning After. It's season 6, episode 6. It's 6-6.
6-6.
And if you count Lexi, it's 666.
Because she said, I am Satan. I will. That did not work. Do that again.
What?
Didn't that was the y'all? That was a chandelier scream with Satan.
Satan chandelier. Satan, Aiden.
No, it's just. I think it was because it didn't. Are you drinking already?
Yes, I've been in a hotel room all day in Nashville, and I went down and got a beer.
No, it's not because it's not high enough to penetrate. So it was lackluster. That's better.
There you go.
That's better.
That sounded more like a witch.
Other people in the hotel.
Sorry, hotel room. Sorry, everybody in Nashville.
Y'all, this is Reality Gaze. Before we get started, do we have any announcements?
Okay, we said it before. We said it on one of our Patreon shows. Thoughts and prayers go out to Kathy Griffin. We love her.
Yes,
she's battling lung cancer. She had part of her lung removed. So she's always supported the gays, and we support her.
Lung cancer if you're not a smoker.
Yeah.
Like, I think we were talking, a friend and I were texting, 20% of lung cancer is not from smoking or from people who've never smoked.
Yeah.
So you can get it.
And, I've never smoked cigarettes, but I smoked a couple of dicks. They were
smoking when
they were smoking when I left them. You're welcome, boys.
So
anyway, Fuckboy Island, Poodle.
Yes. F-Boy Island, y'all, on HBO Max. It's also on this feed that you're getting.
It is.
We're thoroughly enjoying it.
We are.
We've got 2 shows out by now. So
did I post?
Oh,
yeah, I did post it. I did.
So check those out. We're having a lot of fun with the show, y'all. I think that's it. We'll be talking about more stuff.
Love is Blind. We dropped the first episode of After the Altar. The second 2 episodes, as per usual, are going to go on the $5 tier of Reality Gaze extra content. So
that's kind of the excuse. Not a reunion show, but kind of reunion.
But it's good.
There's a lot of tea.
God, we missed them so much.
I did. It's weird how much when I saw Cameron and Lauren, I was like, oh my God, I miss them.
I even was happy to see Jessica.
I was a little bit too.
It's like, when
fucked up.
When you're going to, I'm not into pain. So it's like, I remember this one guy who had a huge penis and was he was so good in bed, but he always wanted to pull my hair. And I was like, don't pull my hair. Don't pull my hair. And he kept pulling my hair. And like, I kept getting dick down by him because it was just so good dick, but my scalp would hurt for like 3 days.
Jesus.
Oh,
okay. You need a fucking safe word. If your scalp is hurting for 3 days.
It was a lot. I did not enjoy it. This was years ago. But
can you say something to them when they're
doing
it?
I was like, don't pull my hair. Don't pull my hair.
No. You say, stop pulling my fucking hair.
This was I was in my late 20s and boundaries were harder for me. So this was a long time ago, but I still remember that dick, y'all.
That's like when the guy was chewing my nipples and he was biting on them. And I was like, stop it. And I just took my fist and punched him in the head.
And then he got into it more, didn't he?
After he's like, ow. But I think that was the end of it. When I actually punched him in the head.
He punched him in the head and he just orgasmed. He went, ow, ooh, I'm leaving. Anyway, y'all, Jessica's kind of like that.
A safe word. A safe word.
She comes back in your room and you're like, am I going to enjoy this? And then your head hurts. Anyway.
There's tea, though. Jessica, there's big Mark tea. Big of Mark and Jessica.
Oh, and people say the second episode is going to totally change our minds about everybody. What's happening? It's so good.
I haven't done it yet. I haven't
Anyway,
watched it.
y'all, I think that's it for announcements.
One thing we had, we're recording this on Monday. And if you are in our Sissy Squad, our Facebook group, we had a small problem where our group literally got shut down for no reason. And it just said, your group has been shut down for nudity and sexual innuendo. And I'm like, sexual innuendo I can see. Nudity, not so much.
And we didn't know, y'all.
I promise I didn't show my dick.
Jackie, we thought somebody posted a dick pic. Jackie was scrambling. Props to the mod squad.
Our mods were like, what's going on?
All hands were on decks. We were just like, what the fuck's going on? Jackie sent in an inquiry. And then like an hour later, we get a message from Facebook that said, our bad.
Sorry, our bad. That was on our end.
We did not. We shocked that we did nothing wrong. Like I was shocked.
I know. I thought we were all going through. I'm like, wait. We know we've had some member violations for things. We've been telling people not to say certain words.
And we would say, member violations, y'all. Facebook's very persnickety. Like you can't type the word dick. It'll get flagged and it gets automatically.
Or bitch. Bitch gets.
You can't say bitch.
Bitch is because that's hate speech now. I wrote down, I think I posted about some reality person or some political person said she needs to be ritually killed, and he got
our group reported,
and I got our group in trouble.
Yeah, so I really thought it was going to be that, but y'all, it's back.
It was on them, not on us.
We did nothing but
bitch, fuck, shut up.
But watch your P's and Q's, y'all, because Zuckerberg is watching.
I can say anything I want here. God damn it, bitch. Fuck.
Titty leather. That sounds like a good warm-up word. Titty leather, titty leather, titty leather, titty leather, titty leather, titty leather.
Titty leather, titty leather, titty leather, titty leather, titty leather, titty leather, titty.
I like that. That's good, Poodle.
Go fuck yourself in the asshole.
Barbecue sauce.
Y'all, let's get back to this. So,
yes,
after Hell Night that we just had last time, after Matthew got drunk and decided at dinner he's
leaving.
He packed up his stuff. He was mouthing off to Martin, the really hot engineer.
Oh, God.
And Matthew's like, oh, my God, I can't believe I was so horrible. I need to apologize to everybody on the boat. Meanwhile, Lexi says, hold my beer.
Yeah. We're going to get to that, y'all. But yeah, he came back thinking and I bet it kind of irked him because he wanted to be the dramatic one. He wanted to be the center of attention.
And they're all like, wait, that's it?
Everyone's
like, yeah, you're right. Yay.
Because as I said at the end of the episode, y'all, this started and they're still fighting again. And no one knows that Matthew has even left yet.
No.
They all go to bed and fight. But so, y'all, we can rehash the fight. Basically, it just ends up with they're all trying to really calm Lexi, to be honest. And she's furious and she's raging. She's David. She's trying to touch David. And David's like, don't touch me.
I was really uncomfortable. And I was uncomfortable with her verbal just abuse of him. It was
full on abuse,
and it was just full of rage. And it was
asking him like, well, what do you do? What's your station? What's your position?
She was making him feel less than.
Yeah. Yes, she was. And because y'all, people that make you feel less than feel less than
themselves.
Yeah.
So anyway, she's already, y'all. I actually never met anyone in life who have said, I am fucking Satan tonight, unless it's that daddy I met at Revolver one night. But that's a whole other story.
Wait, what about that one Halloween?
That's true.
You did fuck a guy in a Satan costume. And you were really turned on by that.
Yeah. And I smelled like brimstone for 3 days.
There you go.
Wait, maybe that was really him.
Was it? He did ask you to call him Lou. That guy that plays Lucifer, holy fucking shit! Did you see on Instagram where Lucifer?
Yes,
the hot Australian guy from River, Sabrina, and that Lucifer had an Instagram conversation
with Tom. What's his name? He is so hot.
It was, and they're both just talking with their accents, and I was erect.
So, y'all. Anyway,
these chairs are uncomfortable.
Lexi basically like raged herself finally at, it's like a dragon who finally breathes fire enough, and it just kind of like angers itself to sleep.
It was kind of like Khaleesi's last stand at the end of Game of Thrones. Spoiler alert, she burns the city.
And it's like, I think someone said later on, I think Courtney was talking to Malia, or no, Courtney was talking to Katie, and said, yeah, I just kind of feel like I'm torn between both sides. And Katie's like, there is no other side. This was completely inappropriate. You don't talk to people you work with this way. You don't tell people you're above them. You don't tell people that they're worthless. You don't say that to people.
Can I just say something? Especially the way she handled everything. I love Katie.
Yeah, she did. She was doing really. That's kind of a no-win situation. God, what would Kate Chastain do? Oh my!
You know what, God. Poodle? She's gone. We've got to move on. She's dead.
No, she's not dead. Kate Chastain.
Well, whatever. She's off the show.
You know what? People still worship her, so you better expect some respect on Kate Chastain's name.
I thought she died. Well, it's like she is. She's not on the show anymore. We can't.
No. This is the thing. You know nothing because she does galley talk every single week. So she does Instagram stuff all the time. She's still an expert on Below Deck. So maybe before you form an opinion on something, maybe find more out about the subject.
You know what?
Burn!
Lou. Hey, everybody. I'm Lou. So it's the next morning and they're going. And so Katie really is pretty empathetic. She's like, I know she's going through things, but come on. And Sandy and Lexi see each other. And it's this very kind of like weird type of meeting. And that weird in that, she doesn't know at all what happened last night. So
it is kind of like on Earth 2, they are having this conversation. And Captain Sandy's like, she's like, oh, how are you? She's like, yeah, we had like a little spat, a little fight.
Because she acts like she didn't hear anything. Y'all, I'm telling you, Captain Sandy didn't sleep through that. She just heard them fighting, and she just turned up the L word really loud so she didn't have to hear a thing. She's like, I want to stay with my girls. Be fine tonight.
She turned up. What's the women's prison show that everyone watches? I don't know, but she turned
Orange is the New Black.
Not that. There's another one that
I never saw that show.
Women Behind Bars.
Women Behind Bars.
You have missed so many shows. It's Orange is the New Black is fantastic, and you'll. One day you'll see things and you'll go, wait, I missed this. Maybe I should have watched this when everyone told me to. No. Instead, you're like, I'll just watch another rerun of Mama's Family.
Oh, golly.
But I love that. I can't really say anything about it.
Yeah. Don't shade Mama.
So she's kind of talking to Sandy like, some things were said. Things were, blah, blah, blah. I don't know.
And she literally called it, we had a little spat.
And Sandy's like, well, just apologize. And I'm like, you called yourself Satan.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know what I'm apologizing for. Sandy, well, just say that. That's so great.
Yeah, this was Earth 2. This, like nothing really happened.
And then we see the narcissism because Lexi's like, I mean, really, y'all, she is, I would almost diagnose her as a narcissist. Because the fact that she said, but apologies have to come from a real place, and there was nothing I could apologize about. Everything I said was great.
She's a very, very I guarantee you go back and look at the relationships she's had, you would get a real earful.
I think she's angry. Well, that's the most obvious
Really?
fucking statement. But what I was gonna say, I think a lot of that. This is a little bit of jumping into the water, that murky water a little bit. But the feeling I have in just knowing people, she talks later on about being raised Pentecostal.
Yeah.
And friends that I know that were Pentecostal, either it was like they were Pentecostal, but a few of them, it wasn't too bad, but most of them were Pentecostal, and their religion and their family was so strict.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very, at least from my friends' experience, it's a very fearful religion, and you're always in fear of doing something wrong and burning in the fires of hell.
Right.
So it's just, I just said hail.
So you just wind up projecting that on all your experiences.
But think about this. This is what she grew up as. This is what she knows as. And she's calling herself Satan. Y'all, that means,
I know.
That means more than if Poodle and I said it. Because I don't really believe in Satan.
Mm-hmm.
Poodle doesn't either. Like, we don't.
Ooh, I did that night. I did that night at Revolver, y'all.
Oh, Lou.
Oh, I believed in something.
The devil went down in my asshole. He was looking for a whore to see.
Fire in the asshole, run, boys, run.
Poodle's in the basement.
I believe in you.
Oh, God. Oh, boy. If you don't think we're going to do for a cabaret number, the devil went down on Poodle, then you're mistaken. Oh, boy.
So anyway.
But seriously, it's fucking... It's
a lot of layers to this.
It's really fucking telling that she's calling herself something she was raised to completely be fearful her whole life.
She does not belong in an industry where she's going to have to work on with a team of people. If she's going to, this is not a good. She needs to work by herself.
Yep.
I don't know. I just wonder why she went into this.
This is the abs. I think she went into this because she thought it would be beautiful, and she would get to.
She likes the control of it.
She would get to travel and to making things nice. But I don't know where in her fucking head she thought she likes waiting on people.
Because there's a rage ready to come out.
Yeah, and it depends on different things, like, or waiting on, like, I hated waiting on people in food service. Now, helping people working at Gap or helping people with makeup, I loved it. But food service is a different level. And then on top of it, this type of service is like, you've got to really fucking like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think she needs to go away from yachting altogether.
I hope she doesn't, because it's a good show, but she does need to go away from yachting.
So, Martin tells Captain Sandy, the chef is gone.
What?
She's like, what?
When? Did it? It must have happened late night when I was watching Beverly Hillbillies.
God, I love that Miss Jane Hathaway.
Miss Jane Hathaway gets me going at 1 a.m. Ooh.
I can only imagine how many lesbians that Miss Jane Hathaway just encouraged fantasies for.
Oh, for sure.
So they are. Sandy's just rapidly texting Matthew, "Where are you? Are you okay?" And Katie talks to Captain Sandy, telling her about the situation. She's like, "So here's the situation, Lexi. We had a really ugly situation last night. Lexi just knocks on the door and is like, could it be Satan?"
Satan. And Captain Sandy, good for Captain Sandy. I don't know how she's handled conflict in the past. I know with Hannah it was
not well.
People don't. So was this her normal way of handling conflict, or was this better?
This was a pretty sanitized way of handling. The thing is, she doesn't know Lexi. She knew Hannah. And the thing, she's great. She's not great at dealing, but she plays this kind of magnanimous role when it's people she doesn't really know and it doesn't have really a lot invested in. Mm-hmm. But when you piss her off and you really let her down, especially when she's trusted you, she turns. She actually makes it super personal.
Really? So she put us this front of don't make it personal. Don't make it personal.
Yep.
But when you fucked her over, or she thinks you fucked her over, she makes it very personal.
Oh, totally. Totally. Yeah. She's definitely the most unprofessional of all the captains.
Oh, really?
Yeah, totally. Even though she acts like it. She's had a pretty easy run so far in these 6 episodes. She's not had to do anything.
Well, everything's happened when she was asleep. I mean, that's it.
Or watching Gremlins 2, the new batch.
Yeah, exactly.
God, I love that Phoebe Cates.
Or watching, or actually probably a Gremlin, or she's really like, oh, bend it like Beckham's on again. I'm so excited.
Gremlins 2.
Anyway.
Oh, girl Gremlin, you're looking good these days.
Looking good. Mama feeds you after midnight every time.
So Sandy suggests a crew meeting for all this after they're trying to talk, and Lexi's like, I don't really remember anything.
Y'all, she's that person that says they were so drunk they don't remember anything. Remember when you're like out with you have that friend who like the night before like makes out with people at the bar, goes home with the guy, and then comes back and says, I don't remember what happened.
Yeah, I'm that friend. Not as much anymore, but you
really remembered.
You really remembered. There are times of blackout. But
I don't think you're actually that friend. I wasn't talking about you when I said that. I was like, remember when you have that friend? I had to say, Poodle's always been a slut, and he's always owned it.
I usually own it.
Yeah. I don't think you ever say, if Poodle tells me he forgets, then except for that time he got really drunk and peed on my floor.
But that's because I think someone slipped me some kind
I think your friend slipped you some drugs.
We're not doing anything. I think I was slipped drugs by people at that bar. So
I've been roofied before. It did not go good.
Yeah.
Shit the bed, literally.
Oh God.
It did not go good.
So they
can't go back to Long Beach. They still know my face.
Stop. So they are at this kind of crew meeting, and Sandy's saying we have to check our emotions, and so then you guys. Lexi says the most non-apology.
Oh.
I'm sorry for all the stuff I did.
I'm sorry. I don't remember, but I am sorry for it.
And like the thing, you guys, and there is a kind of thing in our culture that we think that that apologies have to be heartfelt and that it has to be both ways. Sometimes you're never going to get that from people.
No.
Some people search for an apology from people. Lexi does not apologize.
No.
Probably a lot in her life.
Yes.
I can't imagine it.
No.
So she's one you're never really going to get a lot from. And what you do get from is, sorry for the stuff I did. And again, she's not even thinking it's important. She doesn't value the rest of her crew enough to actually, so
anyway. Someone who says that kind of stuff about people when they're drunk really believe that.
Yeah, it's the kind of lubes her up enough to say it.
Yeah,
when she normally wouldn't. And they're kind of talking to her. Malia is saying, here's what you said. You really disrespected my deck crew. You told them you were above them. you said you were talking about how much money you had, and she just at one point she just goes and she just gets up and walks away. Oh, this would drive me absolutely nuts.
Now she starts crying. She's crying, so she doesn't want to see them cry, but she's not good at this at all. At like taking what she dished out.
Yeah. And Courtney goes to her and says, "No, I need 5 minutes." And y'all, here's the thing. Captain Sandy is talking to Norma from staffing and says, "Yeah, so we got 2 more days on my new shift." And I said, "I knew it. She did it the first day."
Yep.
She's no fool.
She's no fool.
Captain Sandy got a new chef in quarantine. He is ready to go. Even though he's been good on the first 2, she kept that chef. Y'all, this chef's going to be cute. His name is Luca.
Luca.
He's a bear.
Holy. Whoa.
I hope he's Croatian because you know what? It's the Dick Riviera. So, problem is, y'all, Luca's got 2 more days in quarantine. So, she's like, well, what the fuck am I going to do now? About that time, Matthew rolls up. Baby elephant wall. He's like, I'm so sorry, y'all.
I'm so sorry. Hey, I know because he thinks, because you're right, and I'm learning this from the ship. He thinks even with all the crew
he's indispensable.
Fighting, yes, and with all the crew fighting, Captain Sandy even says, I've got to deal with the chef. Y'all work it out because that is the most important. So he thinks he is not touchable.
Yeah.
He thinks there's no way she's going to be able to replace me.
Yeah. He's saying, I'm sorry. And he's so apologetic. Everyone's like, oh, dude, it's not even a problem. They're like, you don't know what we went through.
They have no idea that they just went through Hell Night. And so he's like, walking up to everybody and giving like the most sincere apology, even getting cheered.
I hate this shit.
He apologizes to Martin.
Yeah.
Ooh, Martin.
My thought would be when he was apologized, like I think Malia, when I said this, maybe not gets wasted next time.
Yeah, maybe not get wasted.
Maybe for both of you, not to get to drink so much.
Ooh.
So, he goes to Captain Sandy and she's like, oh, hey, how are you?
Let's meet up there. And they meet, and he's like,
what? She's like,
and y'all, he also kept saying,
I don't remember.
I don't remember, and I hope I didn't say anything because he doesn't want to remember, y'all, because he said things that could be used as sexual harassment. He was talking very specific sex things.
It's on tape.
Yeah. Like, so I don't know how you're going to take it back.
Can you imagine what's still there that it didn't show?
This is a reason why Poodle and I are not on a reality show.
That's the truth.
Anytime I'm on TV, I want to be in control of that content and have the finger on the editing button to just press a button.
All my blackmailers will come right out.
Yeah. So yes, exactly. So when I drop my pants or what, I don't even care about being naked. I don't care, people. But if I say something, I just go, and then a little thing comes and just a television drops through a trap door.
Yeah. So it was bad. So he basically says, she's like, I need
don't
to be
pull over. I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm in a hotel and there's sirens, so don't pull over.
I actually don't hear it.
Okay,
good. So he says, I promise this won't happen again. I don't remember what I said, but I promise I'm back for good to go. And he said, I need to be able to trust my crew. And
he's like, but I need this. I messed up so bad.
And she's like, sorry, if you could, my next chef won't be able to get here for another 2 days. If you could do this charter, that would be great. He's like, sure. And
at first he kind of goes, what?
Yeah, he will. Oh my God.
Yeah, I got a chef. She didn't tell him that she got the chef from day one. No, but she got a chef. You called that, Poodle.
Yeah. No, she's crazy like a fox. She's slick.
She is.
So he's
yeah,
like the next. He tells all the crew the next charter is going to be it for me, and they're like, oh, they're all kind of half upset, but they're all kind of like, thank God he's good at his job, but this is too dramatic.
I think all the women are very glad, and I think some of the guys maybe are like, oh, okay,
yeah.
He's
so and Katie's like, well, Matthew's coming around and apologizing. She's like, at least you can own your shit. Thanks for that.
So yeah. Which Katie then, well, we're going to talk about Katie because she's got to kind of like step up and be the boss that necessarily she doesn't want to be. But y'all, we're going to take a little break and we'll be right back.
Let's move on to the charter, shall we?
Charter number 3. Y'all, I just want to remind everybody, Poodle, we've only had 2 fucking charters so far.
Well, wow. And it's usually about the charters. The charters are usually there's about 2 to 3 episodes at least. So usually 3 for the crazy charters, at least 2.
Jury's still out on this one. We don't know. It's going to be a little tamer, I think, than maybe the first one.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So this is they're at the pref sheet meeting, and their client's name is Athena, and her brothers. And I believe we were a little confused here because Athena later on keeps talking about her clients, and we're like, is that her brothers or?
But also when she introduced them when they walked up, she said, "These are my brother," and then these are their assistants.
Yeah.
So I'm confused. What are they? Brothers? Are they clients? I'm just confused.
And this is an entrepreneurial retreat.
Yes.
Again, I have no idea what that is. So hopefully we'll find out what they're going to be doing on the boat.
If you're entrepreneurial in Los Angeles, that means you sell pot.
Yes.
That's what it means here.
There's one of her brothers. I assume one of her brothers they keep referring to him as Jackpot. I don't think that is his Christian name. Just an idea. But
hey, wait. Jackpot. Isn't that what they called you in college?
Jackpot. There goes old Jackpot.
Everybody's a winner.
Every poll's a winner, folks.
The devil went down on Pluto.
And then I somehow just start shooting coins out of my ass.
Ding, ding, ding. You sound like Mario Kart.
Again, I'm sure our questions will be answered later on.
I hope so.
But and again, sometimes these things they go so fast through things on this show. One of the issues with this show, we're writing furiously, or I am. You're typing. Is so much information is given to you so quickly about these people.
Yeah, that's true.
And so they are.
But she is like she works in. It's something like Athena works like in some type of corporate communication because Sandy brings up like
communications.
I bet they communicate well, and I bet that
she's twisted the knife.
Yeah, she's like
at Matthew.
Meanwhile, Lexi and Malia are still getting into it because like, they're in their room and Lexi's like, "So about last night, I just want to like kind of forget it." And Malia's like, "Well, you attacked my character and you said that I comforted you about your dad for your own benefit."
She's like, "Oh, you did that. You totally did that."
He was like, "Yeah,
I still believe that." Y'all, can you imagine making that accusation towards someone of saying, you fake comfort me about my father, and she has no idea about Malia's true intentions. She's known her for how long?
I think Lexi,
a week and a half?
Yes. I think Lexi grew up in a very, very traumatic and potentially abusive household. There's something about her that it's that thing where she can't feel good. She can't feel not having drama doesn't feel normal to her.
Right. So she leaves and she accuses, I wrote down this person.
Lexi was like, no one was treating anybody horribly. And Lexi was like, you did. You treated me horribly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to go.
She walks away and she's like, I hate bitches. I only want to work with men.
But yet she pissed off all the men first. That's who she actually made feel like shit.
This is when someone behaves so irrational, there's no number one. There's no reasoning. There's no way you can reason with them when they show you all of this.
She's going to be crazy at the reunion. Insane.
Yeah, I can't believe. I know they kept her on for ratings, but I feel so sorry for them to do this to Katie because y'all, there's no way in hell Lexi's making it through this season. None.
Yeah,
I will eat my hat.
We're only 6 episodes in. There's still going to be
there's
10 more episodes, 11 more episodes. No way.
Yep. So they are. She's talking. Katie wants to go talk to her again because Malia tells her what just happened, and she's like, "Can I talk to you a minute? Yeah, we're still having this thing with expectations and blah blah blah." And she's like, and she just starts dialing.
Hello, Poodle. Poodle, I can't talk to the podcast. My mom's calling, Poodle. I'll just, yeah, mommy, I'm being mistreated.
Oh, what are you doing? You're dialing on phone. Yeah.
Oh,
y'all, that was one of the rudest things I've ever seen happen on a reality show.
Katie was
to actually pick up your phone and start dialing. My jaw dropped.
I'm going to say this, and Lexi, I can't believe I'm going to say this. Lexi is more not toxic, but she is more of volatile and unrealistic than Kay LaVey from You, Me, and My Ex.
But I actually kind of like Kay LaVey.
Yeah, I kind of like Kay. I love Kay LaVey. That's true. I love Kay LaVey. Where Lexi, I
don't think they have anything in common with each other.
But Lexi does not live in. I think she lives. If Poodle said Earth 2, Lexi lives on Earth 10.
Yeah, boy. Like I said, we asked. You guys came at us when I asked. Don't these people have to pass psyche valves?
They don't. I was told you. Yeah, they don't.
They do not.
I told you they wouldn't. There would be so many people that aren't on reality shows.
Yeah, Tom, Malia's ex from last season, would have not passed.
Yeah,
he was screaming, but that's chefs. So he and her mom. So Katie just walks away and starts crying, and her mom says, "Do you think God would be pleased with you right now?" Again, can you imagine getting asked that by your parents? What would think God would say?
I bet her mom said that to her when she was 5 years old and crying because she was upset and
lots of shame.
You can see it too the next day when Lexi is just in a total shame cycle.
That's
what she talks about her religion and stuff like that. By the way,
yeah. The next day, y'all, it is Charter Day, and Katie's talking to Captain Sandy,
I'll show you my tits.
Saying this, I did never need to see that again. I'm glad this is not video because I would have just chucked up on my keyboard. So Katie's talking to Sandy saying, I don't think this is the right environment for. She's trying to be as nice as she can to Lexi, and Captain Sandy's like, can you give her another chance?
Can you
give her another chance? And I want to be like, I wish I could show you clips of what happened last night, Sandy. When you were watching, I don't know, Cagney and Lacey reruns.
This reminded me of Cagney. This reminded me of when you're talking to a pastor and you say, Father Black, I think that I am, I've been having carnal thoughts
thoughts about men.
Other men. And I accidentally, I was in the locker room after a sporting game, shooting hoops or whatever I do. And
shooting field goals.
Yeah, shooting field goals. And I was looking at a boy's tallywhacker and I felt things, Father Black.
Yes,
and
yes,
Father
sir.
Black
yes,
says,
son. Yes, son.
Father Black comes at you and says, son, can you just try one more time not to think about that luscious long penis in front of your
Can
face?
you pray to God he can change your heart?
Change your heart just one more time. Can you try? That's how I felt.
He's listening if you ask him.
That's how I felt for Katie. That
I agree.
This is
and
not
she went, okay.
Okay, thanks, Father Black.
I guess this will be my new, y'all. Poor Father Black said that so many times to people.
So many times.
And if he would have ever known what a huge cock gobbler you were.
Oh, yeah. Or he said to Lucy, can you just not wear pants for one day? The Lord loves little girls who wear skirts, Lucy. If you can just try. I had several friends that their pastors talked to them about wearing girls' clothes and not dressing by a boy.
Really?
None of their fucking business, but that shit happened, yes.
Are they lesbians today, or they just didn't want to wear
Two of them are
women's clothes?
Two of them are. One's a softball coach married to a man. I mean,
so halfway there.
Halfway there. I think one of them though was Pentecostal because isn't Pentecostal at their church the women had to do their hair,
modesty.
So that's interesting, y'all. Think about Lexi. Think about she's a fucking beauty queen.
I think it depends on what kind of division or what part of the Pentecostal church, though, because the Pentecostal churches that we have in the South, all women wear longer skirts. Women don't wear pants.
Yeah, that's what we have. Yeah. Which is
I
the
don't
one
know.
that has snakes?
That is certain. That is certain parts of what I would call extreme Pentecostals and some evangelical churches. I don't think there are a lot of snake handler churches anymore.
Y'all come to us if you went to a snake handler church. I'm fascinated by that.
Me too. Most of the times they're just going to speak in tongues. I went to a speak in tongues church because I stayed the night. At some time, people were going, "Wow, and I was like, "Can I do this?"
My friend Crystal Godfrey always said, "You just say see my tie really quickly over
see my tie. So I thought it would be like, and then
this was in high school. She wanted to fit in.
Oh wow. And so who knew 20 years later when I got banged for the first time by a dick that I learned to speak in tongues. See
my tie.
If y'all are just
fuck are we?
If y'all are new to us and saying, did they just talk about penises? No, but it's at least 10% of every show.
Yeah, 10%. This one's a little heavier.
So they are. Katie tells Lexi, "You really pushed my limits and my ethics this time, but I'm hoping things can be okay now." And Katie says, "I'm going to room with you." That's big.
Big.
So she's taking a bullet. So Malia cannot have to deal with this, and she doesn't want Courtney to have to deal with it either.
Yeah.
So this is leading, y'all. This is leadership.
Because technically Courtney and Lexi haven't had a falling out yet because Courtney got drunk and then left.
Right.
Went to sleep. Well, she was crying and then she went to sleep. So
basically Sandy's saying, set aside all the conflict and think of your job. The guests are coming on board. Lots of luggage.
Lots of luggage.
And Katie's telling Lexi to top off Athena's champagne all the time. They are they're sitting there. So they've already been told they can kind of, by the way the guests are walking around and asking for certain things. The preference sheet is very detailed.
Yes.
Everyone's saying this looks like it's going to be a high maintenance charter.
Yeah, so that's what they're saying. Katie's telling them that. She tells Matthew that.
Right.
Or maybe she didn't say high maintenance. She said they're going to be demanding. That's what she said. Not high maintenance, demanding.
And Athena puts the food in her mouth and goes, I approve.
She does prove.
I like it.
Is that normal? I noticed they did that on the other chart. Is that normal on Below Deck where they there's this holding trepidation if people like the food?
Not usually. No, usually there's not as much of. We're waiting to see if the Queen Regent shakes her head in approval or not.
And the first episode kind of felt like that, but that was because Matthew was gone and they had to cook, and then he showed up, and so they were hoping the food. But I was
it was a little much.
Always a thing.
Not usually. Okay. Not usually. I think she's created that for them.
Yeah. Okay.
And again, you guys, we're not sure. She talks about people being her clients.
Again, I don't know.
My clients want things at 8:30, even though she's the primary. Again, maybe I missed something. I just don't know. I know the two other men on board are her brothers.
Yeah,
and
Jackpot
they do
and somebody.
Yes, and then there are two assistants or people who work with them.
It's not clear.
It's not clear. I'm definitely going on to Reddit tomorrow and see if I can figure out all this, and I'll be able to explain it a lot better on the next episode. You guys know how I hate not being able to understand things.
He doesn't know.
So she comes down to Athena comes down to think. So, my clients, they're okay with calamari, but they don't want to be called squid.
Nope. Yeah, she didn't actually say calamari, but she just said no squid. Then Matthew said calamari. I thought it's the same thing.
It is. But she said, but don't call it that.
So just serve it, but just don't call it squid.
Yeah. I think she's really severely misunderstanding her clients or her brothers. I mean, it's like, so she's almost creating this type of demanding atmosphere when it's not one.
Yes, it does seem creating something out of nothing. So serve them bread, but call it toast.
Yes. Toast points. Yeah.
Toast points.
But so she says, and don't see if you can get it some of the Croatian flavors, but not too Croatian. And while you're at it, surprise me.
Well, no, Matthew starts to say, hey, da. She's like, surprise me.
Y'all, that is the one thing you never want to do. Especially for someone who's already, if she had just said, surprise me from moment one, that would have been fine. The pref sheet tells a different story.
It's like when I used to do makeup, if somebody would say, they would come in and say, oh, I don't care. And then they would say, well, actually, I want this color eyeshadow, I want this, and they tell me all these things.
Surprise
and then
me.
They say, but surprise me, do what you want. I'm like, no, clearly you have an idea of what you want. Just tell me exactly what you want, and I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, this is a thing in food service.
Oh God, that just
surprised me.
That was 2 hour. Those were 2 hour makeovers, and they would maybe buy a lip gloss, or that was it. Oh, it was horrible.
This happens too for hairstylists. When someone says, I don't know, just do what you want. Do what you want, and then they are never happy.
I want it to look expensive.
Yeah, but I only want to pay $30.
I want it to look ornate, but it's not real descriptors. Yeah,
right. So Matthew is freaking out, y'all.
Clearly, Poodle and I've worked in the service industry for a bit. That triggered us.
Surprise Me did trigger me because they never want to be surprised. What they're saying is, I'll tell you this, y'all, for any of you working in the service industry, and I'll take this burden off your shoulders. When they say surprise me, that is them just saying, telling you, I have unrealistic expectations that will never be met. That is what that means. Know that.
Yeah.
And you can do the best you can, and they will still give you a note about it.
Yeah.
Because it's a power trip for them. So I just, God, that phrase really does trigger me.
Maybe, and then I was confused because she said they wanted to eat at 8:30, but y'all, they showed the time and it was like 8:40. Nobody was up there. No
one's there.
Nobody was up there.
Then people do get there and they're complaining about the food not being there
because it's not like Matthew has warming trays, so. He's not going to start cooking like really on dinner until this isn't Luby's. It's just not a buffet where you get
these
stuff.
They're waiting on guests, and y'all with the chef, especially if you take pride in your work, you are not going to serve food till everyone's at the table. That's cut and dry.
I was confused. Did she ask Katie to just put the food on the table?
She asked, "Where's the food? Could we bring the food, please?" Even though though
they're sitting there.
Yeah.
Even though
she's there and her brothers are there, they come after that, and she's asking for the food. Then she comes downstairs and says, "Please bring the food. Can we get someone to bring our dinner?" And at that moment, the two other women come up, and they're who've been kind of waiting, and he's like. Anyway, but they're saying she's asking for the food, and there are two guests who are not even there. So y'all, I have a feeling this charter's not going to go smoothly.
Not going to go smoothly.
And we'll see much more of Athena and her crew relations next week, I'm sure.
Her crew were brothers or whatever. Poodle will find out.
I'll find out because I missed so much. Anyway,
I don't have to care that much because I know Poodle will find out for me, and that's just lazy. But it's true.
It's so funny that how triggered if you've been in food service, how triggered you are.
Well, you worked at a country club, so I'm sure you worked with people that really expected you to read their mind.
Yeah, and especially private events. Or any type of private event, you had someone who was where everything would fall on them.
Did you ever spit in anybody's food?
Never. I never did that.
Did you see people do it?
That's the show.
Oh, I know someone spat in my food before. Y'all, that's the show. You know what? They spat on other things as well, so who cares?
Y'all, I'll just say this. People spitting in your food is the last thing you need to worry about.
That's true. That's fine. It's just like a French kiss.
But no, I'm telling you, that's the last thing. Just the conditions in some kitchens of what foods look like before it's served to you. I'm going to terrify everyone.
We're going to we got to move on. Y'all, hey, come at us at our private Facebook group. It's back. New and improved. Our Sissy Squad.
Not new and improved, new and unchanged.
Exactly the same as it was before.
Yeah, so, for no reason.
Honestly, we have fun in there. Also, you can go to realitygazespodcast.com. That's all of our shows. You can find us on Cameo. You can find us on Instagram at Reality Gaze Podcast. We appreciate all the love. Hey, if you enjoy this show and you are so inclined, we really appreciate it. If you want to go on Apple Podcasts, if you listen through that, or if you have an iPhone, and leave a 5-star review, that we really appreciate that. And if you don't know what to write, you can always just say,
"Keep going, Queens."
We appreciate it very much, and all of your support. We want to remind everybody, we know things are getting a little scary out there again. People are going back to school. Teachers are worried. People are worried. We just want to remind everybody, we encourage you to get vaccinated and to wear a mask.
Yes, please.
So
get vaccinated, wear a mask, and breathe, meditate. Remember, there are things that are out of your control. The things that are in your control, whether you get vaccinated and wear a mask.
Exactly. There you go, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So, y'all, we'll see you next week. But until then, anchors a day!